Saltmarsh's Isle of Dread, Session 10. Did you actually come up with a name for yourselves, you guys? Besides the fact that your ship's named the Poseidon? Or named Poseidon?
Besides passengers.
Passengers, okay. What happened? And when you're not on the ship, you're still considered Poseidon's passengers? Okay.
Yeah, right.
Oh no, we'll call ourselves the Poseidon Adventurers.
The Poseidon Adventures. Okay, that makes a little bit of sense, especially to everyone who knows this group. So is that what you guys want to call yourselves? Are you Poseidon's Adventures?
Yeah, I hadn't really thought about it.
I am getting some weird, funky stuff going on with the video today. I've got Greg who's frozen.
I mean, not frozen.
No, looks good to me.
Yeah. You know
Yeah,
what?
you're fine.
Let's try this. You know
You're
what?
fine here.
I'm going to do this. Let's just get rid of that. And see if that helps. Roll 20, Discord video. Come on, Discord video. Oh my goodness. And you're fine, Greg. All right. I don't know what's going on. Are we okay in Twitch? If you can tell, Greg.
It looks like I'm frozen.
Yeah.
But everything's fine.
It's bizarre. It's you, the only one that's frozen here. Okay, I'm going to let's do this. And send you back to the lobby. And there's thanks there, Steve. That really helped. That's so bizarre, Greg. Okay, well, look, a little real time. Hey, everybody, for all of our thousands of viewers right now, this is you get to see behind the scenes how we make the sausage here, which doesn't make any sense because
As long as my voice comes through, it doesn't really matter, does it?
that's true. Oh, okay. Now, everybody, a little tip for OBS. When that happens, when somebody freezes, regardless of whether you change the source and reload it, all you need to do is go to the source, the Discord, in my case, Discord video source, make it unseeable, and then seeable again. So that apparently refreshes in OBS.
It's looking good now.
Good tip. Okay, guys, so Poseidon's Adventures, last time you had you got to Port Nanzaru. You did some interesting things in Port Nanzaru. And Dave, would you like to tell us what you did in Port Nanzaru?
Sure. We revisited Udo the merchant. We also went to Zoar, who was supposedly the king of trade goods. Mm-hmm. And he was referred to us by Udo. We picked up from him some cinnamon and grains and tools to trade with the natives that we might encounter in the Isle of Dread. We also named our ship, which is called Poseidon. Mm-hmm. And we have a crew. Our captain, John Lynn. Our first mate, Liam.
Yep.
Our bosun, Annabelle. Mm-hmm. Our quartermaster, Kurvash.
The Kurvash. Pulling up. Yep. Kurvash.
Our surgeon, Doc Holliday, and our cook,
Levesque.
Yep. And after doing all that, I might have skipped some things, but we ended up going back to the Exploding Goblin, which is a tavern that we've been frequenting, that we've been staying at. And it was boisterous that night. And we came across a famous person from the realms who happened to be Volo.
Mm-hmm.
And Volo was there promoting / selling his book. And in private conversation with him, we mentioned that we might be traveling to the Isle of Dread.
That's right.
And he was interested, and we struck a deal with him. And so he's sending his assistant Gail along with us. And Gail is going to be his eyes and take notes and jot down the information that we come across. Some things that we need to come across. We need to get our 5 tails. We need maps, and we need 15 creatures.
That's right.
So he can write his new book.
Right.
Also, we've heard rumors of, and these are just rumors, of lost clerics. And they might be, some of the early settlers there. But so far, these are just, rumors that we've been hearing about the area that we will be heading into. Did I miss anything, guys?
He was very adamant that we not tell anybody where we're going.
Volo?
Yes.
He was very. He thought that. That's right. He did think that there would be a lot of there'd be a lot of interest and unwanted attention brought to you if you're talking about this to the wrong people. Yep, that was one. And one other thing, Axel, it wasn't necessarily that there were lost clerics. It's that there were, centuries ago, there are ancient stories of these missionaries, right? So who knows? You don't know if there's nobody specific that's missing or anything. So
I think there were also rumors about a penal colony being established on the Isle of Dread by, was it a Flaming Fist?
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
That was a relatively new one, and that was the new way that the Flaming Fist are meting out justice. Just to be clear on that too, absolute evil or total criminals will still be executed, and there'll still be imprisonment and executions. This is another form of justice. So yeah, that's right. Good. And you guys you set sail. You got all your supplies, written everything down. Anything else that happened at the bar? If you recall? With the
well, there was a very unique type of ale that they were passing around that Leggolas decided to get a small keg of.
Yep.
Yes, there's a small keg, and it's got 5 doses or 5 mugs of this special ale. If you remember what it does, I think you wrote it down there, Greg. But actually, no, I wrote it for you guys. It's in your.
Something about dexterity and acrobatics checks or something like that.
Yeah. What the hell happened to it?
And like food crafting checks. I remember cocktailing it up back there.
That's right. You've got a. Guess I don't have it. That's weird. But yeah, so it's basically that that cocktail it'll give you a +1 dexterity. It'll give you the plus. It was +15 if you're doing cooking like a meal, like if you need to do a check on a meal, and then I think it was a +10 for crafting. So inspiration inspires you, right? Good. Okay. So and then you set off. you left Port. You began leaving Port Nanzaro, and we are where we are. So, you are again. It's supposed to take about 2 weeks to get the Isle of Dread, and John Lynn has never been here. The crew has never been to the Isle of Dread. But you have an idea. The instructions are pretty clear, and it sounds like John Lynn and the Liam. So your first mate. Liam's the navigator, isn't he? Or is it?
Liam's the first mate.
Yeah.
Our captain's John Lynn.
Yeah, and so Liam, didn't talk about it too much, but in his connections previously, there had been rumors of where it was, and he was making sure to keep an ear out on. He wasn't directly asking, but he was trying to keep an ear out on anybody that had actually been there. Didn't get any solid information, but he's got to navigate and he's got to judge approximately where this is going to be. So what we're going to do, it's supposed to take 2 weeks to get there. And so what I want each one of you guys to do is roll you need to roll some dice. Let's start rolling dice. All right.
20?
D20. So we'll go Jeff. Sorry, we're going to go Jeff, Greg, Steve, Dave. Okay? So start with Jeff and then stop, okay?
Okay. How many do you want? Just one?
Just one. Yep. Okay, next we go on to Greg. No problem. That day, smooth sailing. Greg, that day, smooth sailing. It's kind of wet and misty, but nothing seems to be going wrong. Next, hold on one second. That's and here we go. Okay, Steve. 16. All right, it's a sunny day. People are a little bit bored, and before we continue, there's some time. If there's anything specific, I should have mentioned this before. If there's anything specific you guys want to do while you're on the ship, let me know. Again, you got your crew, you've got the officers, you've got Oceanus, you've got Gale, your scribe, and tell me what you want to do specifically. Start with Aravan. Aravan. Jeff.
Me specifically? I will go around and check the ballista and the other crude weapons to make sure that they're in as good a working order as they can be.
Okay.
So I familiarize myself with them and what the setup is for them.
Got it. Okay. That makes sense. So yeah, maybe Annabelle. She's the bosun. Working with her a little bit, making sure everything's in tip-top. The weapons are in tip-top shape. Sounds good.
Yep.
How about you, Kaine?
I'd like to read up on the Hammond's book and then now Volo's, the new one, and maybe ask Gail to recall me or regale me with the tales of Volo so we're better suited to finding stories that would be appropriate to it.
Okay. And Leggolas.
I'm going to catch up on my sleep.
You lazy bastard.
Catch up with your sleep. Got it. And Axel.
Well, since on my previous travels that I was working closely with the first mate and the surgeon, I am going to divvy up my time between helping Liam and Doc Holliday. If any, of the members of the crew get sick on the voyage or anything like that, I will help Doc Holliday. Mm-hmm. And, just help rallying and getting familiar with the rest of the crew and assisting Liam, the first mate.
Sounds good. Okie dokie. Axel, give me a roll 1d20. Did you roll?
Sorry, were you waiting for me?
Oh, sorry. No, Axel. Okay. So that's great. Another. It is a bit of a stormy day today, but the crew. It's not like, forgive the term, it's not a gale force winds, but it's quite rainy, and the crew likes that because it helps to refill some of the water stores. Okay, Arawan, give me a d20. All
Jeez.
right, and then Kaine, give me a d20.
Oh,
Oh, all right. Okay, so here are a couple things that happened. So number one, up until this time, Erwan, you everything's in tip-top shape. You kind of connect with Annabelle. She's tough as nails, and really she's really solid. Like you say, okay, you know what? I've met sailors before, but she is one that I could go into battle with. Like you can, well, you haven't seen it in action, like her in battle, but you can see that sort of the way she carries herself, her tales of her exploits, increase your respect for her. She's also a bit of a prankster, so she likes to, when she sort of the new guys, the junior ones. She's like, always give them a bit of a hard time, but always in a nice way that endears you to her. Kaine, you are you are quickly getting very familiar with. I mean, you're studying the Hammond's Guide, you're studying Volo's Guide, and you are quickly learning a lot about sort of these creatures. Especially, you've got a good view of sort of some of the well, you don't know, you've never been to the Isle of Dread, but what you think might be the kind of creatures on the Isle of Dread, and you know that the rumors and sort of that you put two and two together, and you think there's going to be dinosaurs or giant lizards on this island as well, given the geography, given what you've heard about the topography as well. Legolas, you catch up on your sleep. You've been sleeping like a baby. You've been dreaming of gold and gems, and I mean you've got like the Scrooge McDuck jumping into the pool, the gold pool dream. In the dream, however, you hit your head because it's solid metal, but you know what I'm saying. There you go, dreaming of diamonds. On the fourth night, you actually do dream of this pearl, this huge, beautiful pearl that was highlighted in the letter that you got from Rory Barbarossa. And Axel, during this time, you're give me a 1d10. I would like you to roll it. If you get a 9 or 8, 9, or 10, that would be kind of cool. Oh well. So you spent half the time with the first mate, half the time with the Doc, and Doc seems. You learn a little bit about Doc. He was a noble, a doctor for a noble house, and he's now. You don't quite know why, but there's some event that's happened, and he is no longer the doctor, the medic for that group. And about a year ago, he began, sailing the seven seas kind of thing. So he's a very competent doctor. He's more learned. He's a little bit less, let's say, rough around the edges sailor type. He's more of the, hey, I've grown up on land a little bit more. So
where was this former house? In Saltmarsh or?
no, it was over. It was more like towards Neverwinter, between Waterdeep and Neverwinter. So on the northern Sword Coast. You dig enough, but you don't see any connections that you've had with them so far. And Levesque, you're learning to cook a bit. So you've got roll 1d4.
Who?
You, Axel.
I wouldn't be hanging out with the cook.
Oh, sorry. What am I talking about? You weren't with the cook. You were the first mate, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, so you're becoming familiar with this map that you guys have been looking at for quite a bit. Okay. And next, who rolled it? Greg, you rolled the 20. Give me another d20, please. 8. Okay. On this day, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. On the 6th day, you run into some fog. The weather is it's tricky. And this is the whole day of fog is here. I'd like you to give me another 1d20, please, Greg.
11.
Okay, so this is it's moderate fog. It's not pea soup. You can't see in front of your but there is some problems. It's the captain hates going in fog, even though so far it's been mainly open ocean. You know that according to the logs, about halfway through the journey, then you're going to start to see some little islets and stuff, a little bit trickier. So the apprehension is up high. I'm going to say, who's your quartermaster? Quartermaster is
Kravash.
Kravash, yeah. So, I want all of you guys to give me a... How do we do this again? Oh, come on, man. Sorry, just 1 second, guys. The food quality is... Okay, you guys are just starting out. So your crew quality right now is what we call crew quality 2.
Is that like the cohesiveness of the group?
It's like morality, morale.
Morale?
So I'm going to say it's 2. So if you get basically it goes up and down, and as it goes up, you get better bonuses to checks. If it goes down, you get less bonuses or penalties. And if it gets too low for a very long time without doing something about it, you get mutiny possibility. So, okay, so I'm going to roll. I'm going to have... For God's sake. Sorry, guys, just a second. Okay, and on that note, you get to see the DM go and make his own call after checking something, which he forgot to do getting ready for today. So, there is an important thing.
See how well John improvises.
Nope, here we go. Okay. I need each one of you guys to give me I need you to give me if you're proficient in water vehicles, which I know that Aravan is. Anyone else? If you're not proficient in water vehicles, I need you to give me a nature check. So everybody roll for nature check, and then and you can roll for an intelligence water vehicles, which is interesting.
How do I roll for an intelligence water vehicle?
Okay, who rolled for nature? Greg, you rolled for nature? Okay, so we got...
I will be rolling for nature as well. since I'm not proficient in water vehicles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dave, all right.
Not very lucky in rolling either.
Yeah. Not today.
Not today, Satan.
Not today. By the way, check this out, guys. Halloween dice.
Oh, that's cool.
I treated myself a little bit for. All it is nice, heavy dice, and they put some blood spatter on it, and they call it Halloween dice and charge you premium. Very, very smart.
Boy,
Okay, so Aravan, go ahead. You can, if you want, just roll manually. Go ahead. I don't mind.
what do you need? A 20? D20?
Yeah, D20. Okay.
Oof.
And 1, 2, and a 3. That's
I
not.
know.
That's not great. Okay.
They're not rolling. Get the rolls out now, Jeff. Get them out
Get
now.
them out of the way.
All right. Okay, so that's fine. I'm going to make this guy roll here as well. That's a 16. That's good. That is a 5. That's not good. Okay, guys, here's the last roll, and I'll roll it in front of everybody. This is a +2. And I'm not going to have it on this on top. Okay, it's a D20. It's not a DM, or no, not a GM roll. So let's see what happens. Or hang on. +2. Roller, baby. Okay, you succeed. That's good. Okay, so each one of you helps. So the fog is during that day. And hang on, if it's how do we know if it's total success? Fog checks result. How do we? Oh, come on, man. And if you succeed, okay. Well, a little anticlimactic. You guys managed to. So you managed to slow the ship down. You're sort of keeping an extra eye out, and the crew. You each do something that helps the crew navigate better. And there's no later that night. The tension has been high because you're going slower. Everyone's keeping their eyes out. You think you hear something, but you didn't. You start going one way, and you get kind of like, I don't know if we're still going that way because you can't navigate. But at the end, and dusk comes around, the fog starts clearing. You can see that you're still on the right path, and you manage to get through that. So that's lucky. A little anticlimactic. It's just a success. It wasn't a total success, and it wasn't a failure. So congratulations. All right. Next, that's day 6. Day 7, let's go, Leggolas. All right, that day is kind of clear. Nothing really happening. Nothing out of the ordinary happens that day. That's day 7. And Axel, go ahead. Okay, another clear day. After this foggy day, everything seems clear. Again, the weather it's hot, it's kind of humid, and what you've seen today, you started seeing some little sandy outcrops. There's some islands, but they're little atolls or nothing. There's barely even any trees on them. So, okay, back to Aravan. This is day 9 now. All right, same thing. Nothing of interest. Kaine, day 10. Nothing as well. It's now been 10 days that you've been on the sea. Supplies are holding out. You've got you have Oceanus that's helping to catch fish, and you know that she's seems to be pretty proficient with that. Um,
Does she mostly swim around the boat, or does she stay on the boat with us?
she stays on the boat. She seems to want to get in. Like she likes swimming, obviously, and you can see her sort of scales and her skin is very adapted to the water. And I've got who's a half elf here? Anybody half elf? No. Human, dwarf, human, right?
I'm
Sorry.
a wood elf.
I'm a half elf.
Legos, you're half elf, right?
Yep.
And who's the wood elf?
I am.
Yeah. Need each one of you to roll a 1d4. Yep.
Whoa, look at that. I rolled 4.
Is that good or not? You don't know. Okay, still need Dave and Greg.
Which one you want me to roll?
1d4.
1d4?
Okay. Greg and Kaine and Aravan. The past couple days, you've been really intrigued by Oceanus. So Kaine, because of her nature in the ocean, you've never met like an ocean, not just a proficiency with the ocean. She lives in the ocean, right? You're very fascinated by her biology. She's also she's becoming more comfortable talking to you guys. She seems to have she's good at mimicry, and she's sort of picking up interactions a little bit more with you guys. And so Kaine, for you, she seems to be really, connected with you as well on, the nature of the ocean and all the creatures within it. And Arawan, you get this, you kind of really appreciate this fierceness to her. She's a warrior, not a princess, but she's a warrior. And she's really, like, the way she uses her weapons underwater and the way she wields that trident, you're really sort of, not inspired, but you really dig that. So you two guys, I'm going to say, have bonded with Oceanus, right? She's part of the team, and you two are her favorite. Okay.
If I could add to that, at 4th level, druids can start wild shaping into forms that have swimming speed. So maybe she's teaching me how to be a fish.
Okay,
Nice.
So yeah, okay. So is there any specific fish that you'd like to morph
Grouper.
into?
I guess common ones that we'd see in the area.
Dolphin?
Yeah, you okay, so I'm gonna say you're now able to morph into a dolphin if you need to. You've seen some sharks as well, but you're still a little leery of getting too close to them. Oceanus doesn't care. She's just like, yeah, fine. They're not gonna bother me. Yeah, so you can shape into a dolphin. I mean, you can shape into whatever you want. It's got the swimming speed, as long as you've seen it. So I'll say you've seen sharks. You haven't seen any whales yet. So yeah, so you've seen common fish and dolphins. You saw a sailfish too. Anything further you want to do, Erwan?
As far as around the ship or with her?
Anything.
Well, if the bosun seems to be on the same level as far as I feel that she's a good fighter, probably try and pick up what, interchange with different skills and see if we can spar and that kind of thing to improve our skills and maybe show a couple tricks of the trade, as it were.
Okay, so you're sort of practicing with her, and she's up for that. She's you have sort of your daily routine now, your daily you use fisticuffs, you use your weapons. You're challenging each other. Roll a 1d12. Roll 10, 11, or 12. Something happens. Yep. So
Nice.
during one of these sessions, roll a 1d4. 1 to 2 is you, 3 to 4 is her. Okay. So during one of these sparring sessions, it gets really heated, and you sort of like kind of not lose it, but you're just going in, and you've got your dagger out, and she's got her cutlass out, and she nicks you, like kind of badly, like along the cheek.
Oh boy, another battle scar.
Another battle. So you're kind of like, so what do you want to do? Do you want to try to get rid of it with Doc Holliday's healing, or would you like to just keep it there as a sort of sign of it? You haven't lost any health.
If it's not anything that's significant, I don't really care about it.
Okay, so you now have you got a battle scar from Annabelle, and it's she goes up to you. After you're like, oh shit, she comes up to you. She grabs your cheek. She goes, that looks good on you there. She gives you a peck on the cheek. Yeah. So you guys and so this is now becoming a daily routine. The crew watches Aravan and Annabelle go at it every day to see who sort of comes out the victor. And it's you guys are all you're increasing your fighting prowess that way. Okay. Legolas, anything more you want to do? You're kind of caught up on your sleep now. Like very, you're in good shape. You got your sea legs too. This is all
So
good.
I'm gonna if Kaine is done with the Volo's guide, I'll take that and read it and try and just learn about what flora and fauna we might find.
Okay. All right. Also, over the past now 10 days, so Cade has also he's indicated. So here's what Cade is sort of like. He said, I'm not doing the voice today. I don't have it in me. I have a voice for him, but I'll bring it up next time. I don't want to. He is captivated by your tales so far. He's written your. By the way, he's written down everything you guys did in the Sunless Citadel. He's sort of painted this great picture, and he's drawing, and like his view of what Calcrix would look like. He's jotted that down. He's he's drawn this picture like entry into Goblin Town, right? So everything you did there. He learns of there's a picture in a story he draws of Aravan on top of the on the lookout, ready to kill Legolas's arch enemy. And it's a really well done picture. So he's a budding artist. He's great with writing, but he's also really good with drawing. So you've got an illustrated guide to your journey so far. Dave, you rolled that. Okay, back to Aravan. Give me a D20. 18. All right. Kaine, give me a D20. 5. All right. Legolas, D20. All right, and Axel, D20, please. All right. There's now 12 days. So you guys are. So what you've been seeing now, there have been more islands that have been popping up. Some quite far away. Most of them on your the port side. So you're sort of sailing what appears to be a little bit north of this sort of dispersed island chain. There doesn't appear to be any significant activity in all of these on these islands. On day 13, you get closer to one of the islands that has some smoke coming from the beach. There is what you believed to be one of those maybe villages or sort of, maybe not so friendly places that Rory Barbarossa mentioned. Captain asks you, "Hey, as our, we're fine with supplies. We're fine with supplies. We still have a wait. We still have a couple more days till we get to the Isle of Dread. This seems to be one of those maybe smaller villages. Do you want us to go and check it out, or should we just go to the main island?" He asks you guys as the owners of this ship. This is definitely not the Isle of Dread, and it appears to be just a stop-off village, and it's not very big. But what do you guys want to do?
Maybe get a little bit closer so Jeff can put the eagle eye on it.
Okay.
You could. We probably don't want to get tangled up with anybody right now. Now that we're on the last leg of the trip, but yeah, we can check it out.
Okay, so you get a little bit. You gotta get a little bit closer, and then use Eagle Eye.
Yeah.
Jeff, give me Arawan, give me a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Shouldn't really need a perception check. So what you see is, you see a small village, and you can sort of see maybe it's about 100 villagers. There's a beach, and just off of the beach on sort of a grassy plain surrounded by a jungle. It's village. It's a hut. They're huts in a little village. You rolled, and you see the village has a number of these sort of outrigger canoes. So there's on the beach there are these canoes. There's like fish that's being dried. Somewhat of a basic village. But you also notice though that in part of one of the drying areas there appears to be some body parts. It's not just fish that are being filleted. Looks like maybe some other humans are as well.
I'm going to ask Arawan, did you see undead?
I didn't see any undead, just plain dead.
Plain dead.
Yeah, these guys like the long pork, as they call it.
The other white meat. Okay.
The other white meat.
This you quickly deduce that maybe this is one of those cannibal islands or cannibal villages that Rory Barbarossa was talking about. That's the gut feel you get from looking through this, and they you can see a few of them mulling about the beach. It looks like they're ready to maybe get into the canoe to meet you guys. So it's clear that they can see that there's a ship coming by.
Yeah, I don't think we should tangle with these guys for now. It's not worth our time.
Keep going.
Okay, John Lynn Sandor says, "Okay, Poseidon Adventures, aye," and he sets course back for where he was going. And as your ship goes away, you see the canoes. They sort of start going out, and then they don't. They basically say, "Forget it."
They're not waving them down.
Nope. They do not appear to be. When I say not appear to be aggressive, they weren't like racing out. Go get you. It was more, but they're like, fine. Okay, so you're gonna continue on, and then last I get Arawan. I need each one of you guys give me a roll of 1d20.
Okay.
All of us?
Yep. All right. Okay. It will be. Ooh, okay. Next day, you Liam says we should be coming up. We should be able to see the Isle relatively soon. I mean, it should be like maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow comes and goes, and you don't see you still haven't hit land yet. And so that's weird. I mean, if we went, and he's like, okay, well, we went there, and then we went here, and okay, we're doing this. Captain says, well, what do we want to do? Do we just keep going the same way, or do we want to try to adjust course? He and Axel and his senior staff are sort of like, well,
we should get the quartermaster.
They say we should keep going the same direction. What do you think? What do you think, owners? Should we keep going west, or should we change course and go southwest?
Let's get the quartermaster in here, and since he's in charge of navigation, right?
Yeah. First, quartermaster is charge of navigation. Yes, that's right. And he also believes that we should keep going for another day, see how that goes.
I'm going to cast guidance on him before he attempts to figure out where we should go.
Okay. Cast guidance. Perfect. Okay. So Kurvash gets guidance on him. He also thinks that he says we should continue to go west, which you do for another day, and you haven't hit land yet. Captain's he's a little more than worried now. He's like, and he's going through it over his head. Okay, when Rory Barbarossa, he said this is how long it took him, but we didn't know what kind of ship he had, right? We didn't know how fast his ship was traveling. So that's okay. That's one thing. And then he says, and then Quartermaster Kurvash goes, and there have been rainy days. We're going generally this way. We might have gone a little bit north. We might have gone a little bit south. I'm not sure. But he goes, and by the way, he has been keeping track. He's been writing his own map down. So when you encounter that village, when you've seen some smaller islands, he's tracking that as well. They're concerned, but they go, it's okay. This is seafaring, unexplored island. And Kurvash,
I think it does say
Kurvash, who you put guidance on, he says, I think we should head southwest now.
In the notes of Rory Barbarossa, I think it says he changes course to south by west.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Good call.
Good call. Let's do it.
So he said, okay, so you change course a little bit and now heading southwest. So later that day, the next morning, who would be looking out? I guess, let's say Liam, the first mate's looking out, and he's looking out, and you hear him say, "Land ho!" Very, very far off in the distance, you can see what appears to be jungle. You can see the there's land. You don't know what it is, but you can see land in the far distance. So, and it's not just one little strip. It is sort of a very large strip of land. As you get closer, I need you to do a roll off. See who rolls highest. 1d20, you guys. 1d20. That'd be Greg. So Greg, you get to go and roll a 1d10.
Nice. 10. Banging them out.
Okay. Huh. Okay.
Make it 10. I'll be good.
So I'm going to just put this on here. You guys are still, you're the player's map, right? You're on the player's map. So look on the player's map, and I'm gonna add something to it. Can I add two? Let's see if I can add That didn't. This. Oh shoot. No, do not. Did that change it? I hope not. Tell me if you guys can see. What do you see for the Isle of Dread map? Oh, damn it. All right, well. Let's go back and change this for you. Isle of Dread. Players map revised. There it is. I'm sorry, guys. I can only add one image to a handout. So there, you still got your handout, the Isle of Dread map. You can have open that up, and then I'll just add this other one. Here's another handout. Where you is? Okay, so if you look at your map in one screen, and then if you open up where you land, which is a handout I just gave to all you guys, that's what Curvash believes you to be heading towards. So basically, as you sail closer to the land, most of the land you see, it's quite mountainous. You can see some forest, some jungle, a little bit of sand, but the majority of what you see in front of you is very tall, very imposing kind of mountains.
Mm-hmm.
So, I guess the four of you guys, go ahead and try to figure out where you think you are on the map. I gave you the where you land one, which is basically Curvash can write down, well, that's kind of what it looks like. And then
I
think I got it.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah.
So show me on the Isle of Dread map where you think you are.
Right
Oh,
up
wait,
here.
of course you can't do that because you can't ping just a handout, but you can.
We're on the main map.
Oh, you're on the map, sorry.
I see the guys pinging it.
There you go. Okay. All right. So you have a feeling that that's where you are. And so the crew's happy, but the crew's also a little apprehensive. Like, well, that wasn't exactly where we thought we were coming. I thought we were just coming to the side, from the west to the side. We've ever overshot a bit and come down. But yeah, you've got your bearings on the island right now. So, and now it is day. What day was this? You went 12, 14, 6. This is 16 days.
Yeah.
Your provisions are holding out. You've still got another. I mean, you got another, let's say, 2 weeks of rations. Water's getting a little bit lower, so you probably want to fill up there. But you're in the west side of the island right now. You think. What do you want to do? Do you want to make shore? Do you want to sail around? What is your what?
So we think
what do you want to do?
we think we're over there northwest, but yeah, okay, by the mountains, and that terrain we can see it. It looks mountainous.
Yes.
The coastline looks mountainous.
Coastline, and there's a little bit of beach, but like 30 feet of gray sand, steep beach, and then there are essentially mountains. Now, where exactly you are, There's that little bite there that appears to be going up a bit. Well, it all goes up, but that appears to be a little sort of like between two mountains. You can probably, if you want to go up that way, it would be a hike, but it's not directly up the side of a mountain, is what I can say.
Say we push toward the villagers at the bottom end.
Yeah, I'm kind of agreement with that.
I agree too.
We should work our way down there first, and then we can worry about exploring the rest of the island. It would not pay to get hung up out in the middle of no place.
Yeah. Let's we're gonna move south.
Moving south? Got it. Okay. All right. So each of these squares is now just so you have an idea of where we are. Each one of these squares is 6 miles. Okay. And if I do that, oh, you can still see me. It's not frozen. Oh no, it is frozen. Let's put that on top then. Okay, so you can. All right, so you guys can try to sail. Which way do you want to go? Do you want to? You're basically on the total opposite side of where you know that those villages are supposed to be. You know that Tanaroa is supposed to be over here, right? And it's where the wall is. So, and then there's the other villages as well. 6 of one, half a dozen of another, guys.
Well, from what
It's a little closer west.
Hold on a second. Aravan's is saying something. Go ahead.
From what I'm seeing from our general location, going this direction around, we get a chance to see one side of the island, obviously, and we'll push her into an area that we could land if we had to, if we get down into this areas down along here.
Okay.
But I think that's the quickest and easiest way in. And as we sweep through these channels to here, then it's just a matter of which particular area we want to land on. But I think this main island here should be our goal. And traveling down this side of the island, the westernmost side would be the most advantageous and shortest distance.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Okay. Okie dokie. So, okay, so let's go ahead, and it is now, again, it's the morning, it's pretty much, 10 o'clock in the morning when you
So
get
how many
to
days?
this.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we've been 16 days at sea already?
This is 16 days. This is day 17. Day 17, you've got about 14 days of rations left in the supplies. You've got about 10 days of, well, not too picky, but about 10 days of water rations, of the current rainfall, etc. Yeah, and the crew's happy to be, sort of at the destination. I just need to double check the movement. Movement per day. Okay, so your trip is. I've written it down here. How fast can you guys travel? Poseidon goes 120 miles per day.
Nice. So, and there's 6 miles.
Yeah, you can go.
20?
You can go. Yeah, so half a day is 10 hexes, right? So that's a pretty decent pace. That's assuming everything's fine. There's no hazard. So let's assume I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a. I'm going to do this. I'm going to make a ship for you. know what? But don't. This is stupid, but it's okay. That doesn't make any sense. So I don't know if you can see this little. No, you can't see that. There. So there's a little mountain in the ocean here.
Yeah.
You see it? The little red
Yeah.
thing on it. Okay, so that's you guys are like here. You got that. You got this close. So that's where, and let's just call this I can change this. Name is Poseidon. I will make a proper token next time. Okay, so that's where that's where your ship is. So tell me which path you'd like to go, how close to the coast you'd like to hug it, and we'll see where we can get in the day.
How many hexes do we get?
So if it's regular sailing conditions, you can move 120 miles in 24-hour period. So that's 60 miles per 12 hours, which is 10 hexes from like 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. You can go 12 hexes. Is that right? Hang on. You can go 10 hexes. Okay. All right.
That 10 hexes right there. That's one day. 10 hexes a day.
That's so from the morning to the night you get to there.
Is that 10 hexes?
You can sail at night if you want as well.
Well,
A little more. It's a little trickier, but you can do it. You know that there's some more quote unquote navigation that has to happen. Especially if you want to sort of stay within sight of land. So do you guys want to travel? Do you want to travel at night, or would you like to have anchors away?
I think we should continue at night.
All right, let's do it. Ports are 24/7 now.
Okay. All right. So
10 more?
what did you say?
10 more?
Yep. So let me just. Yep. So go ahead. Go 10 more.
Ah,
I'd be about to there.
So what I'm also gonna say, guys, when you have a break, or when you went 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You got to there. So just put a cross mark on it, just to say how, like, for every 12 hours, this is how far you get. Okay.
okay.
Okay. So you get to there. Yeah. So again, morning. Sun is starting to rise now, and as the sun rises, you see. It's very jagged, rugged. The whole coast has been, there's been this mountain range, as the map has clearly indicated. So far, so good. You didn't go into the inlet, but so far this map seems to be pretty accurate. In front of you, there is this sort of gap. There's the mountains on the far left, and then on the right, there's a sort of a smaller islet. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask Aravan to give me a perception check, please. Be it a DC 15. Okay. And so just hold on 1 second. So what you did notice. Come on. 1, 2, 3. what you notice is just this is freehand, so don't hold me to this. About over here.
Mm-hmm.
You seem to see another. There seemed to be another landmass. It was very faint. You don't know what's there. I mean, yeah, that's like 40 miles. That's 30 miles plus in the distance. So you weren't able to see much, but you got this weird feeling like there might have been something over there. But you just said, you know what? That's not your main purpose. And the captain says, that's so far out of our way, and it's another island. But you got this feeling that there might be another landmass or something over that way.
Is someone currently rechecking this map as well as updating this map as we go on?
Kurvash is updating the map. I need one of you guys though to be the map maker, because I'll show you. I've got actually I've got little boxes that you can use to fill in the map as I describe it. Okay, but yes, Kurvash is right now for the ocean. He's your navigator, and he's your cartographer as well.
Okay. Well, when I see this, I'll put on the eyes of the eagle and get as best a view as I can and describe it as best I can to him. Even going so far as letting him look through the item to see what he sees and to make note of where it is and that we should maybe check it out at a later date.
He's jotted it down. There's no distinguishing mark. You can't see anything except there seems to be some mountains maybe in the distance, very very far away, and you can't make out any distinguishing features. But Kurvash marks it down, saying, "Got it. We'll go check it out later." In his half orc gruff tone. Okay, so you get there the next day. In front of you, excellent. Just a second, please, as we have. By the way, guys, finally, we're using this.
Nice.
And just remember, this is none of this is actually in Roll20. This is all I have to put it in manually. So I had to put it in manually. So let's keep that in mind, okay? All right. So you guys, you can't quite tell what's in front of you, except there's another island. This appears to be a small islet. It's quite mountainous as well, and yeah, it's quite mountainous as well. That's all that you can distinguish from it right now.
Do we want to go into that little harbor?
We still have supplies for for 9 more days.
So I said that you had.
I think if we can make it to the village, we should probably try to push for the village.
I agree. That's kind of the main thing. Let's get there first. If we can resupply, then we can explore however we want, whether we go through that causeway or we take the ship and move to a different location. But we should hit that point first, because then we'll know pretty much how we stand in the given thing as far as things stand.
Okay, so you just pushing through. Yep.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Pretty good.
That's good. As you get to, well, I'm gonna before you get there. So as you're passing by this little islet, you notice Everybody give me perception check, please. Right. Kaine's the first to notice it. But as you're going by, you don't see anything particularly. You do see some very tall mountain, small rocky island, and there's a couple of very large mountains here. You don't notice anything, but as you're sort of approaching it, you're like going halfway, 6 miles to it in through this islet. You're the first to hear it actually, and you sort of hear some screeching. And you haven't heard this kind of screeching before. You're like, what's going on? And you notice that near the top of the mountain, you see some shapes that are circling, this screeching. And Kaine, it's not in Volo's guide, is it? But it's in Hammond's. So what I'm going to say is, they appear to be these very large winged creatures that are they appear to be dragon-like, but they're small, and there's two of them. They're browny, ruddy red color, I guess. You don't know, you don't see any. They don't appear to be any dragon kind that you've studied, but they appear to be related to dragons. They're doing is circling. They're not really paying attention to you. They're just sort of circling and then sort of disappearing. And as you go a little bit farther down, you see them again. They're sort of circling around the mountaintops. They look like they're playing with each other or courting each other. You don't know what, and then they disappear in behind the mountain. Did you guys want to keep going on?
Did Gale see that too?
Gale saw that. He says, I'm not going to do the voice, so Gale says that's...
That one for the books?
That's great. That's one...
We need 5 creatures,
he's hoping
right?
to get a better look. He was trying to jot it down, like, they look like dragons, but I don't think they are. Okay. So you get this far. So you get to there. That next day, you get that far. That's up until 8 p.m. Sun's going down. It's time to either keep pressing forward or call it a night. What do you want to do? Do you want to go? You just want tell me your next 10.
Well, are we sailing through the night, or are we?
So if so tonight it's 8 p.m. The wind is almost non-existent tonight. It's almost stopped. And the captain says, "Well, I mean, there's no wind. We could row. We could try to. We don't really have, if you want to keep going, we'll find a way to keep going. But we don't have the wind on our backs tonight. Says, I think maybe we need to rest here.
I think resting here makes sense.
Okay.
Works for me.
Okay.
Okay. So that night, roll everyone roll a d20. There you go. Okay, so you have a good night. It's hot. Like it's really hot and muggy. It has been a few days since there's been rain. Actually, it's been like 4 days since there's been rain. So the water supplies, you're just drinking out of the the regular water. It's muggy. You go for a swim, but it's not as refreshing as you thought. Next day, wind picks up, so you're able to go on again. Show me the next path that you want to take for.
What has Oceanus been swimming in the water? Has she noticed anything different about the aquatic life around here?
She mentions that she hasn't found anything substantially different. She thinks there are more sharks around here than normal, but not really. Nothing to speak of. She had a little not epiphany, but she got this vibe that there was the further east she went into this bay, she's not going very far away. She's just sort of swimming around, but she's sort of like saying, sort of the farther east I go here, the less marine life I see. She said that's kind of, in her experience, that's usually indicative of something. So,
probably not a good thing.
yeah. So her spider senses are tingling that there might be something a little over here. Okay, give me your next 10 hexes you want to go.
Well, we're going towards the village, so
Whoever's been drawing it so far has been doing a great job. Good job, Curvash.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Okay. By the way, guys, I have to do two things. I got to look at the DM map and then your map separately and opening different windows here. So, okay. Okay, so this is basically the day. So, you're able. That's fine. Okay. As you get closer to this island,
The one with the red triangle on it.
Yep. A red triangle usually indicates like a volcano, or something that looks like a volcano. Whether this one doesn't, you don't see smoke coming out of this. It just looks like specifically a volcano.
Not active.
Geography. You also notice some flying creatures as well, much smaller. And every one of you, I want you to give me a history give me a history check, please, or nature if you want, Kaine. And Leggolas? Oh, Leggolas, did you roll? No.
Not yet. It's coming. I'm being a little.
Okay. Axel, you seem to recall stories about these kind of creatures back in Chult. They look like these sort of. You can't see that clear. They're not going out and flying in swarms, but you see occasionally a sort of a silhouette of one. It looks sort of like a dinosaur person with wings. You think you recall them? I think they called them terror folk in Chult. So that's the only flying creature you seem to see around this sort of abandoned.
Now, are they more humanoid or beast-like?
They look like pterodactyls.
Okay.
But they're humanoid pterodactyls. Right. That's out of game.
I'll point them out to everybody.
Okay.
Put the glasses on. Look at them closer.
You'd have to get to about like a mile or two to be able to see the features. Again, they're small. They're smaller and they're more. They don't seem to be in wanting to be seen. They flitter a little bit and then they're gone. They've gone away.
Okay.
So you can go closer to have a look if you want.
I still think we should continue to our main destination.
Okay. All right. So you guys are gonna. What are you doing then, guys?
Keep it going.
Keep her going. All right. I'm gonna just choose. Legolas, give me a roll of 1d6. 1 to 3 means nothing. 4 to 6 means something. Okay.
Something.
Something. It's something. And again, because that's kind of my problem with this being not in Roll20 and just being in a book, or maybe it's a good thing. When you get, it is now around dusk, and you get here. Okay. As you sort of slow down, you're sort of navigating a little bit, and finishing dinner. It's like it's dusk. It's going down. The cookie or Levesque has made a good sea bass and pepper stew for you tonight. You hear what appears to be a bump under the hull. And the crew member sort of like, uh-oh. And they look over the left side and don't see anything. Look over the right side, you don't see anything. But this bump felt like something hit the ship. And it's not there anymore.
Oceanus, go check it out.
Okay. So you tell Oceanus to check it out?
Yeah, tell her to go swim
As a
with me.
dolphin.
What's that, Kaine?
I'll turn into a dolphin and join her.
Okay. As you jump in, Oceanus and Kaine are going to need to roll initiative. The rest of you guys don't, and we're going to pause it right there. And we will be right back with more Saltmarsh's Isle of Dread. All right, so take a couple minute break, you guys, and I gotta just get something set up here. Random encounters. I haven't set up every single random encounter, but I will do that right now. So. Will be paused. Okay. Okay, I'm back.
As am I.
Let's just see if there's
I'm back. I'm back.
all right.
I'm back. I'm back.
Okey-dokey. Okay, you guys. So can you see the ship on the screen here?
Yep.
All right. So I'm going to need you to take your character and move them over into the middle of the ship. And Kaine, I need you to put your character actually over here, around here.
I do not see my.
I don't see my character either.
You need to move them from the roll 20, like the archive, not the archive, the journal, and then there you go. Kaine's done it. You just drag and drop it over onto the battle map. There you go. Now we're getting it. There we go.
Okay, Mark's clean it.
And it's over there too. You and Oceanus. So Kaine, you're more than 14 hit points, I think. Oh, sorry, 35.
Well, I'm currently a dolphin who only has 11.
You're gonna have to forgive me to find a dolphin.
I have it pulled up in the monster tab.
You do?
Mhm.
Okay, just drag and drop that over to there. Drag and drop that over to the map.
Yeah, I was trying to do that. It doesn't seem to want to work. That.
Let me see if I can. There's a dolphin. Okay, so you can go and change the attributes for this. He's only, yeah, there you go. Okay, so go ahead. You guys roll initiative. We're gonna get this guy to roll initiative. Before you do that, we're gonna clear it off. Roll turns, clear everything. Fantastic. And then this guy is gonna turn. All right. Okay, so. Oh, hang on a second. We need to go back. And are we back on? Okay, we're back on. Axel's away for. Oop, Oh, there.
I'm here.
No, we're back on. So basically, we're now there. There's how you create a quick adventure here. So yeah, this is really not cool. Let's if we move this over there. That's not going to work either. Okay, good. It would really help if I wasn't the producer on this one as well. I didn't need to move all these screens around all the time. There, don't move. Okay, a little bit. That's fine. All right. Okay, so yes, there's this. It's a huge squid, like the same size as that massive octopus that you guys had that battle with earlier. But it doesn't seem to be only caring about the ship, especially right now. Our Oceanus and this now dolphin are sort of down there, and it immediately wants to. It's hungry, so it basically comes towards. It's actually bigger than that. It's a giant. So there we go. So it tries to attack all of you, both of you. Of course, it just went away. Okay, so Oceanus takes a hit with a tentacle. And hits Oceanus, who takes 6 bludgeoning damage. So she didn't like that at all. Oh, she's got full hit points now again. Okay, Kaine, you also get. It's going to try to hit you as well.
Elfin armor class is only 12, so
Wait a second, John. I'm sorry.
Yep.
Do I see any of this, or should I roll initiative as well, or I don't see any of this? This is underwater.
You just see these two guys jump into the ocean. It's dusk, so nobody can really see a lot.
Okay.
Dive in, and immediately dive down, and you guys are now sort of in combat. The rest of you guys do not see this. No.
Okay.
And I'm really sorry, guys. I don't know why this is not working as it's supposed to. There we go. Okay. That's why there was a problem. And everything seems to have frozen for me. That's fantastic. Okay, sorry guys. Just hold it. Keep home fires burning. We'll be right with you. Shit. I guess if I've changed the... Well, guys, that's fine. We'll somehow I will. Okay, we're gonna do everything manually. All right. Next rule. Totally misses on you with a nat 1. Kaine. Another tentacle comes out and tries to hit Oceanus. Misses. Another tentacle, where there are many tentacles, by the way. 10 plus 6 is a 16 hit. 16 hit the dolphin.
Yep.
Okay, so you'll take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. Everybody's okay. Except Dave is now okay. Okay, fine. All right. Kaine, you're up. What would you like to do?
I'd like to disengage, and I want to see if I can swim up and try to jump back up onto the ship.
You want your dolphin to try to jump back up into the ship. How far can your dolphin jump? Swimming speed is what, 40?
Dolphin swim speed is 60, but I don't know how far that translates to jumping.
What's your strength?
14 plus 2.
Yeah. Okay, so you disengage, you get away from these tentacles that are slashing. You try to get up. Give me a dolphin athletics check. Make it a DC, and it's 10. And you use all your movement.
Yeah.
Okay, use all your movement. Give me an athletics check, a dolphin athletics check, and beat a DC 13, please.
14.
There you go. So you guys see Oceanus and Kaine dive off, disappear, and then the dolphin comes almost right back out and jumps onto the lands on the you land on the deck. The other sailors are like, huh? And what else do you want to do?
For my bonus action, end my wild shape, and tell the crew, giant squid off to starboard.
Correct.
Giant squid off the starboard bow. All right. Okay, you do that. That's fine. Next, we're going to have... Oops. Oh, for crying out loud, sorry. For crying out loud. Alright. Did everything just get screwed up? Everything just got totally screwed up. Thank you so much, Discord. I need to not do this. I think I'm gonna find another way, you guys. This Discord stuff is just, it doesn't make, if I make one little screw up, then it screws things up in the overall video. So okay, so you call, all right, you change your shape, that's fine, and you're now, yeah, the rest of the crew is sort of alerted to what's going on. Arcturus, or sorry, Oceanus also sees you do that. and she does the same thing, but can't as easily get back into the ship. Um, but she easily, you see her just, she can jump up pretty high, and she isn't able to get onto the whole amount, but she grabs onto some of the netting over the side and just clambers up. She still has her trident on, and she looks at everyone. She says, "It's a giant squid." Okay, so now you guys can see this. This giant squid is now sort of attacking you hear it, boom, smack the bottom of the ship again. The rest of the crew begin getting out their spears and a couple short bows. And before I do roll for initiative for each of you, tell me what you want to be doing in general. Start with Legolas. What do you want to be doing overall?
I want to be taking high ground at probably the stern of the ship.
The what of the ship?
The stern.
Okay, you can take the high ground stern of the ship. Got it. Arawan, what about you?
I will take my bow and go up the mast to the masthead.
Okay. Take your bow, go up to the mast. All right. Kaine, how about yourself? You've now changed back to a druid.
If there's any spears or stuff around, I'll try to grab one.
I mean,
actually, I'll try to help Oceanus up first, since she's still climbing up
no,
the side.
she's fine. She got up.
Okay.
She got up, but yeah, with a little bit of difficulty. You've got. Okay. 32 javelins on board.
Oh.
Probably
I'll
want to
take-
write that down too. Sort of, let's call it group javelins. 32 of them. They're nothing special. They're just,
Don't we have a ballista?
They're going to be flying.
You do have a ballista, and you've got a catapult or a mangonel.
Point them down that far?
I was going to say, I don't think a ballista is going to go down that kind of angle.
Mangonel's not going to work. Ballista is going to be, unless the squid jumps out of the water. Yeah, probably not. Okay. And Axel, how about you?
I would move up to here and grab some javelins.
Okay. So, okay, that's good.
Where's Oceanus?
Oceanus is now over here. Or on this deck. There you go. There's also, I'm going to put a couple more of these sailors. It's fine. What? Damn it. Let's put these guys down. So, I mean, it says thug, but they're not really thug. Okay. Just adding them.
We can't see their names.
Oh, you can't? Okay, good. It says, yeah, you're right. I see it as thug. Okay. So as you do this, there's a couple that are over here. A couple over here. Okay. So now each of you guys please select your token and roll for initiative.
Again?
There you go.
Am I re-rolling? Or keeping the same?
You're not re-rolling, Kaine. Sorry. Okay, Aravan, you are up, sir.
if I have a clear shot on that squid, I will try and aim for its between the eyes and let her rip.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
And there we go.
So it as its food has just gone away, it comes out of the water and it tries to, so it's coming out of the water. So you're able to get a shot on it. Okay, and go ahead and give me a roll then.
Okay.
10.
Yeah, I had it on sneak attack, so it's just 10.
Okay, so 10. So that will not hit.
Okay.
That won't hit. It is now. It's now the squid's turn again, and as it's pretty far, what it does. He comes over to the edge of the ship, and you've got half cover right now. Sorry, where were you? You're in the mid.
I'm up.
You're in the. Oh, you're on the mast. Right. So yeah, it can't get to you at all. Axel, you're over here at on the forecastle, but there's a bit of a what is it called? You'd know this, Jeff. The the sort of the wall around the top of the
Called a gunnel.
a gun. Is it gunnel? There's another term I think, but yeah, okay. So there's some the gunnel that sort of protects you on that deck, Axel, so you get some extra AC. What's your AC right now?
15, I believe.
Yeah, so you add an extra +2. He tries to grab at you with its two of its tentacles. First one's 16. That'll miss, right?
No, +2, yes.
So
So I got
hits the gun,
17
hits
AC
the gunnel.
now.
You're like, whoa, shit. That
Right.
wouldn't have been good. Oh, but 11 + 6, 17.
That's it on the nose.
Right on the nose. So first one misses. Second one goes through the sort of the partition and it grabs you. You're now grappled. So it's got your arm. You're like, oh. Hasn't pulled you into the water yet, but it's grappling you. Okay, and here's what happens. You've got 3 of these guys over here. 2 of them rush to grab you. They're grabbing you, and the other one takes his cutlass and tries hacking at the tentacle to try to get it off of you, or try to get it off of you. And how much damage is it gonna do? Okay, so manages to cut the tentacle pretty deep, not off, but it's severed, and it just lets go of you. These they're squid, so they've got some suckers, but it's not like an octopus. So you're no longer grappled. You were grappled for a second, and now you're not grappled. Congratulations. And I'm just gonna reorder these as well. Aravan, shred, dun, 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 dun. And then this guy over here, he looks over and he tries throwing a javelin at him. And he misses. Say goodbye to one of the javelins. Leggolas, you're up.
So I will move over to the edge here.
Yep.
Fire an Eldritch Blast.
An Eldritch Blast. All right. So, yeah, this squid is at the surface of the water, so you can hit him. 12? If you would have hit, you could have hit him, but that misses him. So
Did I get skipped?
What's that?
Did I get skipped?
Where's your...
Am I not up there?
Why did you get skipped? That's wrong. So yeah, no, you're right. You should have gone. But well, you can do it now. So that's what Legolas does. What else do you want to do, Legolas?
That's it.
Okay. Axel, go ahead.
So this tentacle that grappled me, is it still like around, or
It's
did
still
it like
around, yeah.
recoil?
Yeah, it's like, it's on the surface, but this thing looks like it's got like a 15-foot attack radius.
So I could strike it, or
You can strike it.
so it's in within 5 feet of me. I could
Yeah.
strike at it.
Yes.
I will do that. I will strike at it with Shatter Spite.
Okay. That'll miss though.
And then I will bash it with my shield. So
Bashing it with your shield. So you're using an improvised weapon, or is it?
I'm a shield master now, but I'm gonna have to figure out how to do that. So I will do that my next turn.
No, you can do it now. I mean, what's the roll? It's a 1d20 plus.
If you attack on your turn, you can use your bonus action to try to shove a creature within 5 feet. So it's not really a strike; it's just to push a creature back. So I guess I will not do that.
I'm gonna say you can't. Also, it's a tentacle. You want to push the tentacle. It's already retreated from you. So.
Okay.
I think you can only
Don't you
shove
have a second
creatures.
At fourth level, you don't have a second attack yet, right?
No, I do not.
Okay, got it. All right, Legos, you've gone. Kaine, you're now back into Kaine format. Kaine form.
I'm going to cast Fairy Fire on the other. So it needs to make a Dex save.
It's only 9:30.
For that squid.
And it will fail. It's a DC
All
14, right? Yeah, it fails.
Yep. Cool. So any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And the affected creature can't benefit from being invisible. I don't think that second part will be a problem, but...
No, so you guys see it's dark and the water is dark and murky, but you now see this glowing squid, a giant squid, right? It's huge. So yeah, and it's lit up. So yeah, you're able to. Everybody gets advantage on attacks to it, right? All right, there you go, Aravan. You're up.
I'd like to move back a little bit from the
You move back? Okay. And I didn't put. I didn't do. Did you? No, I didn't do her. No. Oh, all right. So she goes pretty early.
Is anybody within 5 feet of that thing? I don't think so. Right?
You could say that. You could say that Axel is within 5 feet of it.
Okay.
We'll let you say that he is. Yes.
All right. And here we go. There we go.
Okay, 22 to hit. Yep. 12.
12 points of damage.
All right. Okay, so yeah, you get it like square in the body mass. So that's a good shot. Now it goes again. And he goes under the water. And he moves right over here. I'll let you make an opportunity attack if you want, Axel, but with disadvantage.
I'll take that. Opportunity attack with disadvantage.
Yep. And no, let's be clear. You got opportunity attack with just a regular opportunity attack because he's got fairy fire on him.
Okay.
I think that's makes sense.
12.
No, misses. So you just you're like, oh, come here, and you just want to slash the tentacle, and you just miss it as it pulls away. Okay, but what he does, he somebody say something? Nope.
Nope.
Okay, he tries to grab Oceanus, and he tries to grab this other sailor right here. First one, Oceanus, that'll miss. Second Oceanus, that misses. First on that guy, super misses. You see a tentacle grab one of the sailors around his torso. He's over here. He's basically he's got his javelin ready to go, and he's like he's now grappled by this giant squid, and he's trying to get free, but he's also hanging onto the side of the ship. Oceanus now. Oceanus jumps up off of the ship and tries to take her trident right into the top of the giant squid with advantage, right? Thank you. Let's do that. And I'm gonna roll for this one properly. Oh, hits. Does some good damage. And can anyone tell me off the top of your head if a ranger has 2 attacks at level 4? That's level 5 or 6, right?
5, I believe.
Thank you. All right.
I think it's 5.
All right. So anyway, it took some good damage. You see Oceanus come down. She's now like on top of the maw of near the head of the creature. Did a really awesome dive. Of course, Aravan, you're impressed.
Very cool.
Yeah, it was very cool. And then these 3 guys move over here. One of them runs over to try to help his buddy. This other one tries to come over to try to grab him and make sure to help him out. And they both manage to get there's a little bit of damage, but they managed to cut into the one of the tentacles of the squid. These other 2 guys, one of them hits. All right. Oh, they had advantage though, didn't they? The other guy hit too. Oh, wow. So you see this. So you see, and this guy as well. He gets to attack. You see this this creature is getting sort of pummeled. There's like javelins and bows going at it. It's now got about 5 or 6. It's got about 4 arrows in it and a number of hacks at its tentacles. Was it Kaine? Yeah, Axel. Sorry, go ahead, Axel.
I'm going to throw a javelin at the.
Javelin at it. Okay.
Yeah.
"13 hits. 6 piercing.
6 piercing.
All right.
And then I will make my way
There's another
down
javelin sticking out of it, along with another
over
javelin.
here.
Okay. All right. Legolas, you're up.
So I'm going to point at the squid. So wisdom save DC.
Wisdom save?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it hit. 17.
17.
Yes.
Man, okay.
Pretty wise. Pretty wise.
Yeah.
Beast. What were you doing? You didn't toll the dead? Oh wow, yeah, that would have been good. You rolled a 16 at a +2. Sorry, 16 at a +1. All right, and who's next? Kaine, you're up. So, by the way, you basically have Oceanus on top of the beast right now.
Realizing I probably should have started with this, so this didn't get out of hand too quickly, I'm going to cast Speak with Animals on myself.
On yourself.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I want to yell at the squid and squid talk.
Aquan?
Swim away. We're too big of a threat for you.
So you're speaking calamari?
Mon calamari, yeah.
Speaking Mon calamari. All right.
It's a trap.
Perfect. So you speak with animals? Yeah. Tell me exactly what you're going to say to it.
You guys said swim away. We're too big of a threat for you.
Give me a not deception. Give me a persuasion check with just a persuasion check, and it's a DC. It's a little high, DC 15. Yeah.
Oof.
No. And you hear hungry. He says hungry.
That's rude.
All right. Aravan.
Aravan is lighting this puppy up.
Whoa.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, he is. 11?
Yeah. My advantage is the same. 25 or
Wow.
25.
Keep track of your arrows, please.
Alright,
Okay. Yeah. You get
stop
a
here.
great shot right in the this time it goes like right, it's got its beak. It's a squid, so it's got its beak. It goes right in the side of its beak, and you just hear it goes "Arr!" And Kaine, you hear it say, ouch!
I tried to warn you.
Calamari. Okay,
What does it sound like?
and it immediately goes underwater. Oceanus is still with it. She's pulled out her trident, but you see this squid just quickly go down, and it's replaced by all this black ink. You see the whole water is just completely obscured. You can't see Oceanus anymore. And on the next turn is Oceanus, and you see Oceanus. She sort of jumps up onto the netting on the side of the ship, and she's covered in this black ink. And these other thugs that are under her, or right below and top of her, just try to pull her up, and she goes, "I think it's gone." And you heard it, Kaine, as well. You heard it say, "Find food other places." And that's all you heard as it ran away from you guys. And because you did a lot of damage to it. That's great. Now this is, you've never seen a squid this large in your life. None of you. Even though, especially Aravan, who's been on you've been around a lot. So, but this is the first time you've ever seen such a squid so large. The octopus you saw before was huge. This is same kind of thing, but a squid. But you managed to fight it off, and you managed to. You didn't lose anybody. Oceanus took a little bit of damage, but she's okay. All right. So anything else you want to do? You want to chase it? No. Okay. All right. So good job, you guys. You managed to fend off their ship from a hungry squid. Let's move you back to, and I know I'm conscious of time here as well, but let me get you to where you need to be. Back on the player's map. Let's open up the player's map. Okay, so you basically were here. Let me move the ship itself is down here now. So you encountered the squid right there. All right, it's 8 o'clock at night. You've got 12 more hours of travel. Tell me where you want to go.
10 more squares?
Yep.
I would say this is a good location.
That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
I think we'll be like 1 or 2 shy, but it's probably best for us to arrive.
I can hit this with
in the
10.
morning.
I can hit landfall over here in 10 squares straight across.
Probably best for us to arrive in the morning, or at least when it's light out. So
You could put us right here.
Mm-hmm.
That would be 10. That's pretty close to where we need to be.
So hit landfall right around here.
Right.
Around where? Around there?
That should be 10.
Okay. So what you've also noticed, especially on your port side, have you noticed that the landscape are it's more jungle, like it's more lush. They're like coconuts, bananas, palm fronds. It's very lush, but very, thick jungle. You can't really see too much past it. And I need to do this see if I need to do this. As you went through this large bay, you sort of see it's at night, and most of you guys are sleeping. The next morning, the crewman that was on duty at the time said he thought he saw thought he saw some kind of like small island or islet that was sort of in the middle of the bay, but he's not quite sure. He says maybe we can go back and have a look at it another time, but we've missed it. We've gone past it. So, somewhere in that bay, maybe there's this little island that we missed. We'll have to go get it next time, is what he says. All right. So it's the morning. You're very close to land. You are close to land. and you head up. In the next hour or so, you get up to what appears to be a little an area where you can get into the village of Tanaroa. You have to moor the ship or anchor the ship. You need to take. There's not a place to anchor a large ship like this, or put it into port. You need to take your what are they called? Not jetty boats.
Longboats.
Your longboats or your rowboats. They need to be. You need to take those on land. There's a little bit. There's some areas that it looks like there are other canoes or sort of outrigger canoes. Don't appear to be many people there. There don't appear to be any people there, but there is a pathway that leads up to the village of Tanaroa. Do you want to go? And this pathway looks pretty clear and well worn, and people use it all the time.
John, as soon as we're going to go towards land, I'm going to put my scale mail back on. Carowin's family scale mail.
Okay.
Boom.
Okay, yeah. So before you get in the rowboat, that's fine. Yeah, you can do that. And what you do is, okay. Yeah, so you're able to take the longboats in, or the boats in. You get off, and are you going to? You're wearing your scale mail. Or anything else that you're going to prepare before you head into Tanaroa?
Well, we should probably bring some of the spices and some of the tools that we've brought along with us, just to kind of give them an idea of what we've brought in trade.
Okay.
Definitely.
I wouldn't bring them all, but I'd bring just like a sample, shall we say?
Okay. So you bring a sample of the. What did you bring again?
The tools, the cinnamon, the
Ginger and Chilton Tej.
Okay.
Probably leave the Tej. That seems a little hefty to bring.
Okay. That's fine. You get to what appeared to be, you sort of go down this path, and it's jungle, it's forested, but it's obvious that there's civilization here, right? There's track marks, there, indications of cultivation for some of these trees. And then you get to what appears to be this main pathway that leads to this village. And as you get there, you see a couple of children coming down the path. They look at you, and they say something, and they run back. These are they're 3 or 4 kids. They are dark. They're darker skinned. They are wearing grass. They're not wearing like well made linens or clothes that you're used to on the mainland. Very, I wouldn't say crudely fashioned. Let's say simple. Plant based vegan attire. Is one way to look at it. They say something as they're running back, and none of you understand what they said.
Pickle corn?
No, tickle corn. In this language, tickle corn, fighting words. No. It's sort of like might be related to common, but it's not. It's nothing you've ever heard before. And as you and they run back to the village, and as you sort of approach the village a little bit closer, you see that there's a massive clearing. There is a massive clearing that is, through this thick jungle. You can see as you get into this clearing, well beyond, or not well beyond, but beyond this village, there is a massive stone wall, a couple hundred feet high. No, yeah, but it's 50 feet. It's 50 feet high stone wall with these 100-foot towers every few miles or so. Every mile, actually, not even every mile. Sorry, every couple hundred of feet or so. So there's these massive towers with a 50-foot wall, and before that you see the actual village, and the village is it's quite large. There appear to be in the center there are gardens all over, and in the center there appears to be a sort of a raised earth plateau with a little like an earth mound and like a little pyramid, like about a 10-foot high pyramid. It looks like a place where people could talk or see everyone else. And in a sort of consent, there's imagine a north south east west pattern. There are four sort of groupings of huts, that very large huts that are all set up around the sort of central square. There's four of these sections of the village, and there's these one road, sort of a ring road leading all around it. Imagine a cross like this. Each sort of sub village is at the end of the spokes, and then you've got sort of one circle around it, and within that sort of circular framework, there's gardens. There's gardens and fields, with corn, with cabbages and all these vegetables, all around, and as you approach, you get to sort of the first village. You see there's a woman, and she has she looks like this. Kind of an old woman. She's surrounded by four male, they appear to be warriors. She's older, wizened. She's got feathers. She has feathers weaved into her long graying hair. Her wrinkled, weathered skin hangs loosely, but her brilliant blue eyes are piercing. She fondles a golden medallion around her neck, shaped like a dolphin, set with mother of pearl. And these four sort of warriors they're sort of saying something in a language you've never heard before. But she says to you in very broken but understandable common, "Welcome to Danaroa." And we're going to end it there. Next time on Isle of Dread, see how the Poseidon adventurers interact with the Tanaroans on the Isle of Dread. Any questions? Same bat time, same bat channel next week. Right on, guys. All right, we'll talk to you later, and have an awesome rest of the night.
Thanks, John.
See you guys.
Thanks, John.
Bye.